and we back with one more Larry Bird video for the last live stream of the night. And we're going to get straight off. This is just NBA legends explaining how good Larry Bird really was. And I've watched a couple of these videos with other legends talking about Larry Bird and stuff, but this is a brand new one that just came out 4 hours ago. And we're going to get right off into it and see what they're talking about, man. Make sure y'all drop a like, comment, subscribe, and let's do this.
Bird played 13 seasons in the NBA, 3 championships, 3 MVPs, a trash-talking reputation so ruthless that Hall of Famers still bring him up unprompted decades later. But stats and trophies only tell part of the story. The real measure of what Bird was comes from the people who actually shared a floor with him. What you're about to hear are the stories those people still tell, not because anyone asked them to relive it, but because Bird left the kind of impression that doesn't.
They talk about it because that impression was left on them, not because somebody's asking them to talk about it. They just still want to talk about it that much. Like, I never got to watch Larry Bird play live ever in my life. You know what I mean? He was out of the league 10 years before I was alive. And I still, the impression that I get just by watching him is just amazement. Like, he's just amazing.
Fade with time. These are the accounts of teammates who learned what it meant to compete at his level, opponents who thought they had a plan and found out they didn't, and legends who, even now, can't talk about their own careers without circling back to him. This is Larry Legend, through the eyes of the people who were actually there. Jamal Mashburn was one of the college standouts brought in to scrimmage the Dream Team ahead of Barcelona. Bird got the ball against Rodney Rogers and narrated every move before he made it. One dribble pull-up, going left off glass, bucket. Scoring 8 or 9 times in a row before his back forced him to lie down courtside because he couldn't even sit on the bench.
To play against the Dream Team.
This was the legendary game where the college guys came in and Chuck Daly let y'all tear their ass up, and as soon as y'all started getting back, he ended it, right?
So, yeah, so funny. So when we got an invitation, it was 8 of us. It was myself, Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Eric Montrose.
Shout out Rodney Rogers, man. Shout out to OG.
Yeah. And Grant Hill was on that squad.
Okay,
so we
Grant
get to
Hill.
La Jolla, San Diego, and we check into the Marriott. We go up to our floor, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall. And I'm like, damn, that looked like Larry Bird. So Larry Bird coming down the hallway, me and Chris Webber, and Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stand up close to Larry Bird.
Exactly.
Larry Bird, legit 6'10".
Real talk. When I first did
See, I knew he was tall, but I thought he was 6'9", more like LeBron size. Does anybody else see that they got LeBron marked at 6'11" this year? He's been 6'9" his whole career. Now all of a sudden he's 6'11".
Against him when he was coaching the pace, I was like, damn.
The 76ers marked LeBron at 6'11". 6'11". Every team since he's been in the league has had him marked as 6'9".
So he walked by us and he says, y'all those college guys? And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, get some fucking rest. It's going to be a long week, and walked off.
He said, get some fucking rest. It's going to be a long week.
And we was like, what the hell?
What y'all got us into?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. You know, we like, all right, what's going on here?
I wanted to say what's up, and he just came to me like this, like, damn.
Yeah. So the next morning, we get up and we go to practice, and Roy Williams is our coach, but we only got 8. So we like, well, how are we practicing? And what are we practicing for? So we spent, I want to say, an hour doing the 3-man weave. And I'm like, what's going on here? Then they bus us to another location where the Dream Team is practicing. And these about 400 people standing outside waiting for the Dream Team to come out. They take us up to a top floor, and the Dream Team is practicing. They're finishing up their practice. And then they say, all right, get loose and stretch out. We're like, okay, we playing? They're like, yeah, we're going to play next. So we get out the gates. Like the first 15 minutes, we kicking their ass. we running them all out. Bobby Hurley in the lane, killing John Stockton. So they stopped the game and turn off the score. think we were up like 72-66 or something, 64, something like that. They just stopped the game. So we like, all right, was this halftime or some shit? They like, nah, the press coming in. So I'm like, oh wow. So that's when the thing came out that Chuck Daly let us win. Because they were like, they didn't want to hold a complete game because they knew it was going to be downhill from there. Because we were trying to prove that we could represent.
I find something, I don't know about this. I find this a little hard to believe. I don't know, that a bunch of college kids were beating up Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, the Dream Team. Bunch of college kids were just running circles around John Stockton and Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, like, what are we talking about here? I don't know about this.
Yeah. So we lit their ass up, and then something happened.
Like, maybe this is true. Maybe you know what I mean? They'd been working out already. They're tired. You know what? Maybe this is true.
We're sitting there and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something it's a group of them. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since 84. Magic heard that shit. And we ain't think nothing of it. The next day we came in, and I never seen this. And this one I was like, this is a different breed. Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he
told him what he was going to do.
He told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass.
Larry Bird was a different type of beast, man. He really was. That's why I'm finding it hard to believe that a bunch of college kids were just running around John Stockton and Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, like they were winning. Like, not that they were giving them good game, that they were winning.
One dribble going right, spin, shot, bucket. Okay. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row, left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench. He had to lay down because of his back. And said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he made
look like 84, huh? Because what? This is 19. What year was the Dream Team? 1984, 1986, something like that. I don't know exactly what year the Dream Team was. It was in the 90s when Larry Bird was older and his body was giving out.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow. I said, so that's they kicked our ass for the rest of the week.
When Charles Barkley's teammate Leon Wood was in the field against Bird, Trent Tucker, Sleepy Floyd, and Norm Nixon at the league's first ever three-point
Larry Bird said, I'm just looking to see who's going to finish second and third place
contest. Bird walked in and asked which one of them was coming in second place, and the room went dead silent.
My funniest Larry Bird story. I think it was like my second or third All-Star game, and Leon Wood was one of my teammates who was a really good shooter, just a great friend. So I went to support him in the three-point shooting contest. Larry Bird comes in and says, everybody's, they kind of getting into it, getting excited, getting a little nerve-wracking, blah, blah, blah. Larry Bird walk in, and he says, hey, which one of you motherfuckers gonna come in second place?
Which one of you motherfuckers is gonna come in second place?
Nobody said anything.
Rick Fox was a rookie in 1991, smiling ear to ear in the layup line before a preseason game when Bird shook him straight. Fox later watched Bird, McHale, and Parrish's final season together up close, calling it his blueprint for how the job is supposed to get done.
As a teammate,
he was intense. He was always
when I played with him that year, always trying to get himself on the court in a healthy way, but his back was.
This is when this is when he's laying on the floor.
man.
He's in traction half the time.
And and for me, it was kind of like, man, I heard about Larry Bird, and I watched him, and I know he was really good, but I'm not seeing the Larry Bird. And then in March 17th, the Portland game,
when he comes back in the second half on a Sunday afternoon,
he went for 49, 17, and like 14 assists.
It was 49-14. It was 49-14-11.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That game was
To see, some people can remember the exact stats. Like I remember a lot being a huge NBA fan, but I forget a lot too. Like I can't remember everything down to the exact number always.
Amazing.
That was incredible, and that I'll never forget. That being in that game playing, but also watching and realizing, okay, now this is what everyone, when they talk about Larry Bird being a bad mofo, that this is who this guy is. And he used to do that on the regular. He just only could get it up once in a while for the Celtics this last year.
Kevin McHale
He was just dealing with a bad bag.
never had to face Bird's trash talk in a real game, only in practice, which gave him a front row seat for years to watch Bird use it on everyone else nightly. McHale still calls this specific memory the best one he's ever heard, even after a lifetime.
That haircut's wild. The haircuts that white boys used to rock in the 70s are crazy.
Of hearing them all.
Feels like every time we have somebody on who played against Bird, we always ask for their favorite trash talk story. You were there. You were in the theater every single night. Do you have a favorite Bird trash talk story?
Oh my gosh! Well, probably my favorite one was we were playing in Phoenix, and we were way up. We were like 15, and we have the worst fourth quarter in the history. We're terrible, and Larry's bad. Larry's missing shots, throwing it to the other team, throwing it in the third row. And
throwing it in the third row is crazy.
Come back, and somehow they go up two. So we have a play, out of bounds play. I'm taking it out, and Larry says, I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a three. And I'm like, we're down two. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, let's shoot a two, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game. And Larry says, no, I'm just going to bust a three on him. And I'm like, oh, my gosh.
And he made it.
So he tells the Phoenix bench, he tells the coaches, yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a three on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this. And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball at the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so. He stops running to the locker room. And it went in. And I just started laughing. I was
Jesus. Like the way he would call his plays is absolutely. He said, told you so, and started running towards the locker room. He said, yeah, I'm just going to bust this three and go home. I'm tired.
Oh, man.
Crazy. Crazy.
It's just one of those ones where he just kind of, he has such supreme confidence. And it was just, but that's the one when you were back in and Larry went in and said, well, I won the game in the first three quarters, then I lost it in the third quarter, or the fourth quarter, excuse me. Then I won it at the end. He goes, my record tonight is 2-1. We all just kind of laughed about it.
Thomas recalls a game in Hartford where Bird openly laughed at the defender assigned to guard him, Kent Benson, before hitting a buzzer beater right in front of him. This one showed how Bird would psychologically dismiss an opponent before even touching the ball.
Yeah, like
never do these three things.
Bird's trash talk wasn't necessarily like, what I mean? It wasn't like Kevin Garnett's trash talk where he was just screaming like bitch ass boy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it was more like get in your head type of trash talk. Like, this is what I'm going to do to you. And then he does it. And it gets you thinking like, damn, am I even supposed to be on this court? Like he just told me what he was going to do and then did it. And I couldn't do nothing about it.
It's an upfront legal.
Yeah, I remember we played y'all in Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
And Kent Benson, remember Kent Benson?
Remember Kent Benson as he got 56 scored on it against Kevin McHale. I do remember that.
So we come out of the huddle and Larry, I think we up one, and Larry look at me and Benson come to guard him. And he looks at me and he goes, and he called me Cheesy. He goes, Cheesy, and he pointed right at Benson. You putting him on me?
You're
He made the last basket, we lose, right?
It's
One of
like
the most ridiculous things
it's like
that
the
Bird
other
did,
video
though,
where he's
wasn't
like,
taunting.
"Don't you guys got any brothers who can guard me? Because this white boy can't guard me. You guys gonna have to put a brother on me."
The other players, or the fans of the other teams, but the coaches as well. It would probably be seen as disrespectful nowadays, and definitely was back then, but this was Larry Bird that
Facts.
was talking.
My favorite trash talking by Larry, and Kevin was a pretty good trash talker too, but Larry was when they trash talk coaches, like when they trash talk Hubie Brown, and they're sitting there playing in Madison Square Garden, and he's just going like taking the ball out of bounds in front of their bench, so the whole bench can hear him,
Right.
and go like, Hubie, this all you got for me tonight? Like you got no one else that can guard me. This is getting ridiculous, and then Hubie would put in like Johnny Newman would be running in the game. He goes, "Wait, are you serious?"
You ain't got nobody else who could guard me? Like, this is all you got for me tonight? Is crazy. So like, you're not only getting in the team's head, you're getting in the coach's head, and the team hears this. So now the team sees that their coach is second guessing the team, and it's just a mind game all around.
That's the guy you're putting on me. We loved it. But even the other bench, even Hubie's team in New York is like laughing at Bird's trash talking.
In the 1980s, Magic Johnson ran the most exclusive pickup basketball games in the country out of UCLA. Magic set the tone, the rules were set, and it was one of those moments you could only dream of in the movies without cameras, press, or pride. But then Larry Bird walked in, and the entire vibe of the court changed.
Man, the Lakers always stayed on the winning court.
No matter what.
Max,
No matter what.
he could go to a hole and be wide open and miss the layup. Oh, woo! You're like,
He calling fouls for his teammates. He don't even call him for. He calling for his teammates.
That's
If like
funny as
you
hell.
said, if Max would have missed the shot, he was on. No, that's a foul. Bring that back, young fella.
No, that's a foul. Bring that back, young fella.
and the only time this didn't happen, it was one magical, I don't know how this happened. Oh, I do actually know how it happened. It was the first year of Magic's Midsummer's Nights game, the very first year. And it was in Pauley Pavilion before it moved to the Forum. And he had everyone because it was the first year. And Larry came out. And before that game actually happened, so Larry was out maybe 2 days ahead of time for these pickup runs. And Larry walks in, right? So you have the Lakers, you have the selection of pro players, UCLA A and B team. So of course Larry says, all right, I want to be on that, selection of pro teams. And everyone's like, oh my God, Larry, Magic on there.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw Buck like, okay, there ain't gonna be none of this bullshit you're calling on today.
Right. Yeah.
Because Larry was like,
Larry wasn't having it.
Larry wasn't having it.
Larry
was
was
not
not.
having it. And it was like,
I would have loved to have been alive to see some of this shit, like to watch them play and stuff. Like, I wish I would have been alive to watch MJ and Reggie Miller and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and watch these legends play, man, because no matter how much you watch on YouTube and shit, it's not the same as actually watching them live and watching the full games and everything.
no footage. No one knows.
Had to be there.
Oh my God, some of the passes and then Coop and Larry really didn't like one another. I mean, really didn't like one another. No, I got him. Coop, I got him. I want him. I'm like, oh, this is what I was learning.
Right,
This
that's
is
crazy.
This is all going into the DNA. This is what.
Sean Kemp was one of those young rooks who came in thinking that he had the game figured out, that he could hang with Larry and the rest of the league. But then he had to put his money where his mouth was, and it didn't go so well the first time.
X-Man told a story.
He said it, and it didn't go too well the first time. Of course, bro. You're talking about Larry, the freaking legend, man.
Thomas and Scoop East podcast about Larry Bird talking shit to you, saying, I'm the best motherfucker in Indiana. Put a 3 into my balls. That's true?
It is very true.
And that's true.
Larry, hey, man, first of all, we got to Boston that night, he had some knee pain. I was like, it's a hell of a time for you to come over to knee pain. I ain't going tonight. You got it.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Yeah,
had knee pain, and so the young fella thought he had the upper hand on him, and that didn't turn out too well, did it?
The boy always trying to keep Larry Bird. I'm like, so I look in the mirror. I'm like, well, shit, man, I'm about to give this motherfucker fits out here tonight. So before the game, I was over there rubbing my hands, looking at him like, I'm about to get your ass, man.
What year was this for you?
This was my first year.
Oh, okay.
And
that didn't go so well for you, did it, young fella?
That day, that morning they came out with a USA Today article, and they said that Larry didn't have it no more. So he came out that night to make a statement, and I was just the prime candidate to be.
Yeah. He said, I just got the unlucky night.
Before the game, he told me, he was like, he just shook his head at me. He said, man, it's going to be a fucked up night for you.
This is going to be a fucked up night for you.
So what did he put up?
I think he gave me, I think he gave me 46 and 3.
What'd you do?
But I ended up fouling out, but I was on his ass. I'm gonna tell you.
I ended up fouling out, but I was on his ass.
He was actually calling out bank shots.
That's crazy.
He would say, next time, bank shot left side.
That's crazy. He goes, I was on his ass, but I ended up fouling out.
I'm gonna pump fake you. Your dumb ass gonna go for it.
Bird's own explanation for why he consistently stepped up in the biggest moments. A rare piece of insight into his mental approach that goes beyond just the trash talk.
Does anybody
and gets
else
into what he actually believed made him different was this, and he said it.
Does anybody else think Larry Bird looks like a mad scientist now with his haircut and his hair as he gets older? Hold on.
Bird's own explanation for why he consistently stepped up in the biggest moments.
He looks like a mad scientist now.
A piece of insight into his mental approach that goes beyond just the trash talk and gets into what he actually believed made him different was this, and he said it well. Going into those games, you never knew what was going to happen.
Facts.
But I always had enough confidence in my game, and I put the time and the hard work. I never really felt the pressure. The only thing I was always worried about was how I was going to perform, because I wanted to perform at a high level for myself. What stands out across every one of these accounts is how little any of these men needed to bring Bird up. They have their own championships, their own highlight.
Facts. They don't need to talk about Larry Bird, but they still want to because they were just so mesmerized at the way he played the game.
Reels, their own place in basketball history, and yet the conversation keeps finding its way back to him, unprompted, with the same disbelief they had the first time it happened.
Facts.
That's what separates Larry Bird from most of the players who came before or after him. It's not just what he did on the court. It's the fact that the people who competed against him at the highest level still can't stop talking about what it felt like to be there.
Facts, man. Like I said, I wish I would have been around at the time. I wish I was alive to be around to watch all these legends play over the years. Because like I said, I was born in the 2000s. So I was born in 2000. So Kobe was my first legend that I got to watch really play basketball like that. And I didn't get to see MJ or Larry Bird or Magic Johnson or any of the other greats play over the years. And I really wish I did. But man, I might do one more live yet tonight, but drop some videos down in the comments that you guys would like me to react to. It seems like people are really liking the Larry Bird one, so I'm probably going to end up doing some more of those. It's still live checking out. Peace out, y'all.